guys, what's going on? It's been a while since we've done a tour of the place, a cage by cage tour. So I think I'm going to take you guys over to the Reptarium, show you all the new stuff, where everything is, and then I'm going to do a BHB tour too. So we've never done a Reptarium BHB tour together. So what do you say we go do this? All right, you guys ready for this? It's going to be a fun time, there's no doubt about it. Again, you guys have seen a lot of things in here, but we haven't really kind of updated you on the new stuff and where it's at in the Reptarium. You see, like, where's Gemma? You know, you'll kind of get an idea of what's going on. Obviously, we all know that this is the centerpiece for the new Reptarium, or Reptarium 2.0. Of course, we've got Ivy and Ariana in here just chilling out. Ivy's just up on the water, and we're working on a male right now, so fingers crossed that works out, but they're absolutely wonderful, wonderful snakes. And I love that people can come in and get that first look of what is really awesome about the Reptarium. Up here we have our Aki monitor, which is pretty cool. I mean, Akis are really wild. And look at, you can see right already, he's like, "You're gonna feed me, aren't you?" And they're just so wild. Look at him come right out. "Oh, come here, buddy." Oh, there you go. Of course, this is a red Aki monitor right here. And this is actually a little female. Absolutely wonderful. And they really do calm down. See what happens? It's like, at first it's running, and then it'll just like mellow out. Just really cool to have a dwarf monitor that is cool as like a bigger monitor. And we work with this guy, target train the whole shot. And even when we're open at Reptarium hours, it's really cool because we can literally do you know, like a target training feeding, and it'll take, you know, mealworms or superworms or roaches or something like that right off, and it's just a really cool animal. We have Helen here. You know, I tell you, out of all the snakes that we have, Helen is still one of the fan favorites. I mean, every time people come in, they spend time with Helen. I actually have groups sometimes come in and spend half an hour with Helen. Just like, I just came here to see Helen. It's so cool, you know, because she was such a special animal, and we didn't even know if she was going to live because she was born without eyes. And of course, she has done absolutely wonderful here. This, of course, is El Toro, the bull snake. I mean, bull snakes are just so incredible. Come on, buddy. Come on, little monkey. Come on. There you go. Look at that snake right there. Wow. And this could eventually get 6 or 7 foot. Wonderful animal, super good eaters. I think, again, an underrated pet snake for sure. I mean, and there's a lot of different color phases of bull snakes. I've told this to people before, like, I want to work with all kinds of bull snakes. I don't know why. I just have always loved them to death, and they are absolutely wonderful. Over here, of course, we have Irwin, our blue-tongued skink. This is the northern blue-tongued skink. Of course, we only have two blue-tongued skinks here at the Reptarium. You guys know we have Potato, the Centralian blue-tongue, and then, of course, the northern here. And it's cool because we could just set him on the ground like this, and kids can just come and pet him and just kind of hang out with him, can talk about the blue tongue, talk about defense mechanism, talk about kind of that evolutionary area where, you know, this is probably, you know, a snake that has some very small legs, you know what I mean? It's kind of that thing. Of course, they have the external ears and stuff like that. So we're always looking at these animals as ways to kind of educate people, right? To tell them about interesting things. And even with that blue tongue, to talk about the defense that, you know, in the wild, when things have blues and reds and yellows, oftentimes they're venomous, right? So, or poisonous. So in this case, he's saying, "Hey, look, I've got a blue tongue, don't eat me, I'm poisonous." Of course, we have Baby Kush here. Baby Kush is crushing it. It's doing really well, gotten so big. Bruce has done a good job of taming him out. Don't know if we will be taking out in the public anytime soon, but still getting better and better every single day. Of course, you guys know that I've got to show you Drogo, right? I mean, Drogo has become such a huge part of the Reptarium, and I realize that he's not a reptile, right? But he is definitely, where's he at? Where? Oh, there he is. Hey, Drogo. This is a weird spot. Like, he started to really like to come up to this spot for some reason. Never used to be there before. For some reason now he's totally into being in this spot a lot. But again, we rearrange these branches and trees and everything as much as we can, as often as we can, for enrichment on him. And he's just amazing. Look at that cute monkey right there. I mean, I absolutely love Drogo. And like I said, people come from all over the place just to see Drogo because he is just so absolutely amazing. Of course, we have my girl Perdita. There you go, baby girl. And she is always just a crazy cool animal. I mean, how beautiful is this snake? And she just gets getting cool. You know, I liked it when she had a lot of white on her, but to be honest with you, the black is that iridescence, right? And that's what really makes her kind of super special now. So loving that animal. And again, we do so much with Perdita, so certainly you guys know where Perdita is and stuff like that, but this way you get a feel for where she's at in the actual zoo, right? Moving down here, we've got Al Machino, of course, chilling out as he always is. Super good animal. And again, another animal that comes out a lot at the Reptarium. Of course, Salty and Pepper. Now, interestingly enough, I'm gonna sex Pepper here pretty soon, because when I got her, I was told that she was incubated as a female, but I've recently found that it was actually hatched in a gator place that actually, you know, does like gator skins and meat and stuff like that. So we don't know how it was actually hatched. I think that Pepper might be a male, to be totally honest with you, but that's a whole nother vlog. You know, I'm not gonna get into that and stuff like that. But of course, we have my girl Salty here, who is absolutely incredible. Come here, girl. Oh, come here, baby. Up you go. There you go, sweetheart. I mean, look at that animal right there. Salty is amazing. She is getting big, guys. We need to expand the Reptarium because I tell you what, if we don't get some bigger space for her in the next 6 or 8 months, we're going to be in trouble. I want to make sure they have what they need, right? So it definitely, like I mentioned, that expansion, we're talking about a 20-foot enclosure for Salt and Pepper. 20 foot by 10 or 12 foot. Really deep water to keep them there the rest of their life for sure. Of course, Tiana's up here. Watch this, Tiana. Tiana, can you bob your head for us, bud? Can you bob your head? Thank you. Thank you. Can you bob your head? Can you bob your head? Yes. 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 Okay. Thank you, Tiana. Of course, Tiana's a Lewisite, and I love that she does that. And that's literally her thing, just saying like, pet me. I want to get pets, right? And then the latest addition to the Reptarium that I absolutely love, and this has become, again, it's only been here for a handful of days, but wow, has it become one of not only the crew's favorite things to mess with, but also when people come, it is so cute, and it eats right, like, I mean, it'll eat right out of your hands. I ate a strawberry the other day. Of course, it's an omnivore, so it also needs some protein and stuff like that. And in the wild, these guys will eat bugs, and of course, this is a 6-banded armadillo named Brillo. Brillo the armadillo, absolutely wonderful animal. And the thing that's cool about this thing is you could let this guy out and he'll literally, you can see how he just comes over, he's like, please don't put me back. And we'll play with him a little bit. He'll follow you around like a puppy dog. It's so funny when you get him out. He is so amazing. I love him. I know, Brillo, I'm sorry, but I promise I'll come back and play with you. Right now, we're giving these guys a tour of the zoo, okay? Is that all right, buddy? All right, when we're done with this tour, I'll come back and say hi to you, okay? I tell you, that thing is absolutely ridiculous. There's no doubt about that. Then we have Snap and Pop, actually, which are, of course, our black-headed pythons. Now, last year, here in the last couple months, actually, we saw them hooked up for the very first time. Now, it's off-breeding season, so what's going to happen here in about a month, we'll start smashing the female with food, and then we'll put them together like they are, and hopefully they'll breed, and maybe we'll have some black-headed pythons here this next year. I think that'll be incredible. Of course, we got our red iguanas, and you know, all these marks on all the iguana cages, I've talked about it before, it's sneezing to get rid of sodium. They have a membrane above their nasal cavity that they store sodium and they sneeze it out. So we have to clean this glass constantly to make it look good and stuff like that. But they're still awesome, you know, it's definitely cool animals. Of course, Jeffrey is getting so big. Look at Jeffrey right here. Oh my gosh, of course, he's the hypogranate Burmese python. What an absolute beauty. And if you can really see its head right there, it's got pink and peach on it. And that's something that everybody that comes in, that watches the vlog, like you guys, always says like, wow, I didn't realize he had pink and peach in his head. So he does. He's a beautiful snake and wonderful temperament. There's no doubt about that. Of course, we have our other albino iguanas here. We have Heinz up at top here, and of course, French is down here. And then we have our red-footed tortoises that we absolutely love. Then, of course, on this side, joining the Reptarium 1.0 and 2.0 into turtle ponds, we have a bunch of sliders in here. As a matter of fact, we're going to get some albino sliders relatively soon, which is really cool. Then, of course, Diddy and Dixie. Where are you guys at? Where are you guys at? Same thing. Got to clean this glass 2-3 times a day. Come on, guys. Come here. Come here. Come here. How you doing, sweetheart? Here they come. Hey, buddy. What's going on? Of course, Diddy here is absolutely amazing, and hopefully he'll be a daddy. We still have a few eggs left. I'm hoping that they'll hatch. We're hoping, and Mama here, Dixie, did such a good job. Yes, what are you doing, you two? So, of course, this is going to be amazing. Now, I do have to decide what this enclosure is going to do when we do the expansion, because, of course, right now, this enclosure is in the window, right? And the window goes to the outside, and of course, we're going to have that window is going to be pushed out 16 feet. So the question is, do we push this out 16 feet, or do we maybe reconfigure it maybe somewhere inside here? Not 100% sure what I'm going to do yet. Then we move into Reptarium 1.0, and again, we're going to check out BHB in a little bit too. Of course, Bowser is over here, the big old snapping turtle. Come here, buddy. Look at this monkey right here. Woo, doggy. Bowser's amazing. This is one of the enclosures that needs some kind of redoing, and what I mean that is I want to put some really cool underwater lights to kind of light this up, because I think it's going to be really amazing. Right now it's cool, but if it was lit up, you could really see Bowser even better. I think it's going to be good. So that's a project that's coming up pretty soon. Let's keep going this way. Of course, we have Nova and Lilith over here. the little guys. Now, unfortunately, they didn't produce any babies this year. Don't really know exactly what happened, but you know, Nova's over here just kind of protecting his girlfriend up top there, Lilith. He's still absolutely wonderful and stuff like that. And then down here we've got Breadloaf, which is one of the Doomerals boas that we take out a lot. Don't talk about Doomeral boas nearly as much as I should, to be totally honest with you, because they are absolutely wonderful animals. Of course, Ben and Jerry is right around the corner here, so if you ever come to Reptarium, it's like, where's Ben and Jerry? Now you know where Ben and Jerry are, doing absolutely amazing. Of course, Ben this side, Jerry this side, and I'm always impressed when people do come and watch the vlog, and they know where Ben and Jerry is. They're like, this is Ben this year. I'm like, you guys are awesome, you know, stuff like that. Hognose down here, we got Mango in here somewhere. This is our Cayman lizard. He's always kind of swimming around, hiding and stuff like that, but he's doing good. Not growing as quick as that I would like him to grow, to be totally honest with you, but he's doing well. He might just seem like a dwarf or something like that. Not sure really what's going on. Night Fury, yeah. Not much has to be said about Night Fury. Look at that animal right there. And look at the sheen and color on it. Those googly eyes that he has. What an absolute ripper. He's absolutely incredible. Love that animal. He, again, will eventually go into a much larger cage. Once again, why we have to do the expansion, how important it is. We've got some leopard geckos. We've got some Woma pythons. Of course, we have our 12 alligators, 6 here, 6 in the back. These come from our friends over at Gatorland. Love you guys over at Gatorland. We exchange them out every 6 or 8 months for babies again, because obviously they can't stay in here long term, right? But we always want to have babies for people to feed, as well as you know, to take out and handle and stuff like that. Tamale is our red tegu. Right over here, not exactly friendly, right? We bought it as like a friendly tegu, and of course it didn't turn out to be so friendly, but it's still really cool to feed, so we love it, so we're not going to say anything. Of course, look at this Beetlejuice. Look at Beetlejuice, how absolutely big this guy. Another animal that needs a bigger enclosure here probably in the next 6 or 8 months, so we don't have to worry too much about it right now. This is Carl. Look at that right there. Oh my gosh. Whoo, doggy's favorite. This looks so good, guys, that I have to take an Instagram picture of it. I'm not even kidding you. This is absolutely wonderful. We'll just go ahead and snap this right over here. Oh, let's see what we got. Come on, buddy. Oh. Yeah, follow me over at Snakebite TV. Just a little shameless plug, you know what I mean. But that looks like amazing. Of course, we have our lychee geckos. We have 2 cages of this guy. These are actually, this is the boy right here. And then we have Big Bertha in here as well. And then we have another male called Reptile that's in another enclosure too. But people love coming in and handling them. They're so soft, they're velvety. Of course, we got Bearday down here. Bearday's in the water right now. Bearday's going to get a giant enclosure as she's getting bigger in the new Reptarium for sure. This is a cool animal that a lot of people probably don't even know that we have. We actually hatched one of these this year. It's the first time that we hatched one ever. I've never hatched one before, and really Jessica did it, and we just have to find it. Where are you at, buddy? There it is. Of course, this is a little African fat-tailed gecko. How cool is that? Oh my gosh. Now they're a lot like the leopard geckos, but they're like the African version of the leopard geckos. They're just so cool, and I'm so happy that we hatched one, and now we got this little baby gecko that people can come and play with and stuff like that. It's really absolutely cool. We got Chunky Monkey right over here. You guys know that. Of course we have my guy over here right up top. Right up the top there, that's Chicken Strip. What are you doing, Chicken Strip? That's the albino Nile monitor, and we really hope that we'll be able to breed that guy and actually produce some more albinos, because he is the only one that we know of that's in existence. So he's a pretty special animal. There's no doubt about that. Of course, we've got Artemis Prime, the Argus monitor over here. Of course, our white throat monitor, Grits. Gosh, she is so amazing. That is just one stunning animal. Hey, bud, what you doing, silly monkey? Good, tame, beautiful animal. I love being when you have, you know, someone that wants kind of a bigger monitor, but not like Elvis's size or something like that. We pull out Grits. Sometimes we put out Santana, the Savannah as well. We got the monkey tail skinks right up here at the front. Look at that. They're chilling out, and these guys have become pretty habituated too. We actually can feed them green beans while we're open. So when people want to feed, they actually just take a green bean. They're just dum dum dum. It's the cutest thing ever. Of course, our egg-eating snake here. This is a Daisy Pelter Scabra. Of course, it's always hiding, so you gotta just kind of find it. Here it is. Oh, of course, these guys you don't have to worry about with teeth or anything like that, but they like to strike. Look at that. Woo! 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 Whoa! Look at that. Look at that animal right there. That thing is, whoa! What a cool threat display, right? And again, they really don't have teeth. They eat eggs, so you don't have to worry about getting bit. There's no venom there or anything like that, but I love that threat display. Unbelievably cool animals. Of course, the green tree monitors, both of them are out right now. Take a look at these guys just chilling out right at the front of the enclosure. Of course, the male is up top, the female's right here. These are actually a Varanus persinus, which is a really cool green tree monitor. Love those guys. Of course, Bolin's python way up top over here. Of course, that's Bugatti, the Bolin's python. Then we got our bugs over here. We got a few other things. You guys know Bella's over here. Bella, we'll see if she'll come down. I don't know if she will. She might or she might not. Belly, you want to come down and say hi to me, baby? She's my cat. You guys know Diddy and Dixie are my dogs. They'll come every time you open up the door. She looks at me and goes, yeah, Dad, I don't think so. You know what I mean? I still love her to death. You know, she's absolutely incredible. Of course, you know Elvis, the big water monitor. He's absolutely incredible. On this side, this is actually pretty cool. This is Milton. This is actually one of our Euromastic lizards. Really beautiful. Of course, Argus monitors. This is Cheech and Chong. Look at us. Oh my gosh. Of course, that's Cheech right there. Chong is hiding out somewhere else. We've got our cool milk frogs. Oh, well, here you are, buddy. Look at how cool that is. See if he'll jump off. Come on, buddy. Jump, jump. How cool is that? That is amazing. Of course, our little frilly dragons. This is actually the ones that we produced a year ago, and they're getting really big right now, and they're super, super docile. Now, the thing is that they never really flare up, to be honest with you. I will give you a little secret, though. I don't know if he can see Elvis. If he sees Elvis, he gets upset, and he frills. But it looks like Elvis is back there, too far for him to see. But that's the one thing that you could do. If Elvis is up front, you put him by, and he'll go threat display. We don't like to stress him out, to be honest with you. But every now and then, if someone really wants to see a threat display, we'll show them that, and it's actually pretty cool. And one of the cooler things that I love that we've gotten recently, of course, is waffles here. And this is the thing I do. I'm going to take you guys on this, right? All right, so this is what I do when people come in. I'll say, come here, come here, come here. And I'll say, stick your head in there. Stick your head in there and take a big whiff. Oh, did you smell it? Did you smell it? It actually smells like syrup. It's so crazy. It's really wild. But of course, he's a giant black throat monitor. No idea why it smells like syrup. We talked a lot about it. Is there a chance that they could excrete a syrupy type of smell to attract prey like rodents and stuff like that? And then I don't know, you know, because if a rodent smells something really sweet, it may go down that path trying to find what that sweet smell is. And then all of a sudden they come across that, and now they got a free meal. I don't know, it makes sense. If you have another idea, down in the comments, let me know what you think, because I did as much research as I possibly could, and I couldn't find anything that told me why that they would smell like pancakes or syrup. It doesn't make any sense. Of course, we got Lucky, our Amazon tree ball, always a fun animal. Come on, buddy, don't bite me, don't bite me, don't bite me, don't bite me. Ooh, look at this guy. Hello, hello, come on. Now getting him back in the cage, that's the hard part. Nope, 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 nope. Gotta play a little Russian roulette here. Whoa, whoa, hello. There you go, bud, there you go. Back in your cage, back in your cage. Okay, okay, okay. We love you, we love you. That is an absolutely wonderful snake. Of course, we have a whole bunch of different animals over here. We got some dart frogs. We got our two-headed red-eared slider, of course. That is Chopsticks right there. And then we've got Osvaldo right here, which is, of course, the albino, or what they would call a snow caramel. Of course, Daisy over here. Up top, we have Butterscotch. So these are all, again, these are things that you're gonna see when you come to the Reptarium, and that's what makes this place so absolutely amazing. This animal is another animal I love to death, and I cannot wait till it gets bigger. I told you guys that I am in love with these, and someone actually sent us this one, which was really cool. Just gotta try to find it. It's a little hunt there. Oh, there it is. There it is. Woo! Wait, don't run away, don't run away, don't run. Oh, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where you at? Where you at? Whoop, he ran that way. Come on, come on. Oh, I got him. This is a Chuckawalla. That's right, it's kind of like a Euromastic in a way, but this is like the North American version of a Euromastic in a way. But it's gonna get a big, you know, like up to 36 inches long, kind of like the Egyptian Euromastic, and but what an absolute beauty here. It's always, a lot of times it'll hang out right up here, right underneath this hot light, because it wants to be about 120 degrees in the basking. But this morning, while we're running around, it was hiding out. So again, it's not the heat of the day. Next up we have, of course, Karma, the chameleon. Karma chameleon. That's right, this is the Nosy Bee Panther chameleon. Come on, bud. Let's go. Look at that beautiful animal. Now, interestingly enough, for you guys that don't know, panther chameleons, every region that they're from is a different color, or some of them are different colors at least. Of course, this is the Nosy Bee. The Nosy Bee have kind of a bluish look to them, which is really amazing. And we actually have 3 localities of panther chameleons that all look a little bit different. So, of course, We've got the nosy bee that's blue. Then we have an abalone chameleon, which is way up on top there. You guys can see right up in here, right there, right up at that light. And that looks more like a Fruit Loop. That's why we call them Fruit Loops, of course. And then we actually have a nosy fallow, which is kind of like blue and got a little bit of red, not that bright blue that Karma has. And then we have a female. Now the females typically will say the same color, right? Which is pretty cool. Down here we actually have a couple cool snakes. I gotta show you this one. I love this snake right here. This is a mildly venomous snake, one of the boega, the cat-eyed snakes. But this is a multi-cincta, absolutely wonderful snake that our friend, just took a little pop at me. It never does that. What are you doing, you silly monkey? My friend Lindsay actually donated this to the Reptarium, and I am in love with this animal. I mean, look at the bands on that. That's just amazing. Again, they have about twice the bands of the mangrove snakes, of course, which are the Dendrophilia. These are Dendrophilia multi-cincta, but absolutely wonderful snake. Getting some size to it now. Looks absolutely beautiful. Love that animal to death. And then we just have a couple little snakes over here, like we have Midnight, and we have Luna. Luna is just a little albino high white, black and white Cal King, or what they would call a desert phase. And this is just for like the little kids, you know, that want to hold a tiny snake, right? They're like, I don't know that I want to hold a big snake. And we start them off with that, and then after we get done, we say, all right, now you know how to hold a small snake, and then we pull this snake out right after that. This, of course, is Gemma. Whoo, doggy, look at this girl here. She is absolutely wonderful. Come on, big girl. Yep, so right after they hold Luna, they hold... No, that's not true. I'd say. But to be honest with you, it is really true where usually they start with a small snake like this, maybe Helen, and then next thing you know, they are playing with girls like Gemma or Perdita or Almachino or something like that, which makes it absolutely wonderful. But look at that snake right there. Woo! I tell you what, she is a big girl, and we love her to death, so it's amazing. And then Lucy's the next cage over, and let's head over to BHB. So before we head over to BHB next door, we're gonna head downstairs. And the only animals we have down here, of course, are our Fly River turtles that are in kind of our quarantine thing. These guys will eventually get gigantic enclosures when the aquarium opens. I cannot wait for that. But let's head into the colubrid room over here, which again is part of BHB. This is the part that is still in the same building. And then again, all these animals here are colubrids that are getting bred, all these, look at these. These are eggs, right? All little eggs that actually hatched out and stuff like that. And yeah, go to snakeegg.com. Don't have it yet, but I want to do snakeegg.com because I know when I was a kid, I would love to have a little snake egg. So I want to give you guys snake eggs. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that. But the fact is that we have all kinds of really cool animals here. These are some like albino red line corn snakes that are all getting ready for brumation here in the next probably, month and a half or so. Maybe 2 months is when we actually put them down. So these are all kinds of cool, just really beautiful snakes. Look at that albino Honduran milk snake right there. My goodness. Halloween is coming up, and this looks like just one of those little Halloween candy corns. I absolutely love that animal there. But we have tons of colubrids, all breeding and stuff like that. And then we actually just hatch the eggs right up on top here, right? So basically what happens is that this is about 82 degrees up at the top, and that's the way we keep them. These are some baby snakes that just hatch out. Little Brooks King snakes, aneurystic Brooks Kings, albino Brooks Kings, all kinds of stuff like that. So these guys will get set up here later on today. We go through, this is all the eggs we have left. We're probably 80, 85, 90% hatched out. So let's go ahead and now head over to the BHB building. All right, guys, we're back at BHB. Come on through right over here. And again, these are all our kind of raise up animals that are going, and this is all like the new raise up colubrids and stuff like that. Take a look at this thing. Holy moly, mother of pearl. This is actually a reverse Okatee corn snake, but what they would call a super reverse Okatee corn snake. That thing is an absolute ripper. And all these ones are kind of coming up. I love garter snakes, and they've become really popular lately. This is actually an albino granite garter snake right here. So this is, again, the checkered garter snakes, but the albino granite checkered garter snakes. So it's a double recessive. The granite's recessive, the albino is recessive. This is actually a palmetto corn snake. This one has some really cool, like, big red blotches on it that I think are really awesome. So that's pretty cool right there. And let's see what else I've got. Oh yeah, scaleless. This is actually one of those scaleless tiger corns. Look at how beautiful that is. This whole wall here is basically just raise up animals. This wall here will eventually go over to next door into the basement. Take a look at this beautiful black and white Cal King right here. This is actually a stripe, what they call scissors crossing black and white striped Cal King or desert phase Cal King. Absolutely wonderful snakes. And again, these guys are all pretty quickly going to get moved over and get into their larger enclosures, and then we'll be able to breed them down the road. This is a pied musarana rat snake. I have loved the pied musarana rat snake since the first day I saw them on Instagram, and now I have a little group of them, and I am beyond happy with them for sure. So again, just more of this type of stuff upstairs here. We've got geckos up here, baby snakes up here, stuff like that. This is the place that will eventually be Reptarium 3.0, right? So all this stuff actually does have to get moved, and we're working on how we're going to actually achieve that goal. But this is all just stuff like, look at this here. This actually, gosh, look at that snake right there. That's a flame goini albino right there. Whoo-hoo, doggy. That thing is crazy. And there are just so many beautiful snakes. I mean, there's a big old sock-headed Pueblan milk snake right here. Look at this. This is just a Pueblan milk snake that has a really big wide sock head. That's what they call it when this band right here, this triad right here, is really nice and big. Absolutely wonderful. So I could go through snakes all day long with you guys. Let's head down to the dungeon. In the dungeon, okay, we won't sing that song. Let's come on this way right now. Of course, these are all adult ball pythons, spotted pythons, children's pythons, stuff like that. Have a lot of cool stuff that's like coming up for the future. So this is a lesser leopard clown ball python, just a future razor. We have so many really cool razor stuff that we're raising up. So some of the razors on this side, these are all the adults where we pull all the eggs. You guys have seen so many of the egg videos and stuff like that. And again, just more of the same male ball pythons this side, female ball pythons on this side. Love this snake. This is actually a spinner super stripe red stripe. So the super stripe is a specter and a yellow belly. The red stripe, of course, is incomplete dominant. And then the spinner is a spider and a pinstripe. So there's a lot of really cool genetics. This is a female that might be up to size this year. Not 100% sure, but it's getting closer and closer. But all kinds of stuff. Still have about maybe 12 or 15 clutches to be laid down here. So that's this side. Come around to this side and actually see some of our razor stuff that we're raising up for the future breeders that was from last year. This thing is absolutely ridiculous right here. This is actually a banana pastel Enchi bongo ball python that is het for clown. I mean, just unbelievable. And again, these are just like that next step. These goes from here, then they go into that rec, then they eventually go into CB70s, and then they get bred. Here's one of the super lorry ball pythons with some size on it. I mean, just look at the pattern and color on that thing. Ooh, doggy. I tell you what, look at absolutely stunning. So again, we have a couple racks of those guys here. And then really, then we get into all of these snakes here that are all down the line. These are actually all, believe it or not, babies that will go up on the website eventually. I mean, some are already on the website. This is actually a banana champagne cine ball python. Really cool combination. And again, just all along this row, you can just go, I mean, it just goes on and on and on. All kinds of stuff. And the truth is guys, we have like maybe 4 racks up on the website. And then everything else, believe it or not, is not on the website. But there's just all kinds of really beautiful stuff. This is actually a black pastel pinstripe cypress ball python. This is a pastel lesser cypress ball python. There's clown stuff, there's pied stuff, there's everything down here, which is really cool. Of course, we have Mystic Potions, those little purple ball pythons with the yellow stripes. Absolutely wonderful. So again, that's where all the babies stay until they get up on the website. And then again, even like I said, this whole rack here is pied. Let's see, this says cool face. So let's see what this means by cool face. Oh, let's see. I don't know exactly even what face is. It's kind of, I guess it's this one right here maybe? A couple eyes, some eyebrows, a little mouth. I'm not sure, but nevertheless, I always love when the crew marks little tiny things. We've got lots of smiley emoji pies and stuff like that. And then all the way over here is again just ball pythons, ball pythons, ball pythons. And then we come around here. Jessica's actually working on this side right now, and she's doing some just kind of maintenance with animals. Hey Jessica, what's going on? Of course, we have all of the rainbow boas. We have like the leucistic rainbows. Take a look at how gorgeous that is. Unbelievable. We have sand boas here. This is where all the crazy like boas and pythons are. We'll just sneak right around Jessica right now. And of course, we have Crackle, which is the black-headed python over here. Woo! Look at him. Woo! Watch out, Crackle. It's okay, buddy. He's thinking, I'm gonna get fed, so I better, whoa, whoa, come on, Crackle, come on now. Tell you what, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, we're gonna get Crackle back. These guys love to eat, I tell you what. Get in there, buddy. All right, and then of course we have Woma pythons, which are really a lot like the black-headed pythons. They're saying the same genus, which is Aspidites, but they don't have that black head. And these guys aren't like the blackheads that are pretty much, now listen, most blackheads are good, but for whatever reason, they like to eat, man. And when they think you're gonna get fed, they are on it. Whereas Womas are just much more mellow animals, to be totally honest with you. So we have that in these racks over here. Of course, we have our pied retic. This is Neo, and these are just some of the other animals that we're starting to get for Reptarium expansion. A few animals, there's some boas in this rack, the red-tail boas. Of course, this girl is looking absolutely wonderful. And then we have Penelope, of course, which is the hypo Burmese python. Take a look at how gorgeous that is. That's just like Jeffrey, the hypogranite, but just without the granite part, right? So it's just got the one thing. And then again, when you breed hypo to hypo, you get something like Marshmallow, which is the ivory all white Burmese python. So that's what all of these guys are here. And then of course, you guys know, down over here, we've got my boy, RJ. What's going on? He's waiting for us right here. What's up, Arj? How you doing, buddy boy? You having a good day? Hi. Hi. What are you doing? What are you doing? You okay? You gonna back down for me? Come on, baby boy. You're alright. You're alright. Love that animal to death. So basically, guys, that is the tour. I mean, basically, you've seen the Reptarium. You've seen BHB. What's going on? Yeah, I know. Yeah. No, I'm going to do the outro today. You don't get to do the outro today. He's always wanting, this guy, he's a diva, there's no doubt about it. So if you enjoyed today's video and you like this tour, do me a favor and watch a playlist right over here. I appreciate you. You could also do me another favor on this side, right over here. Can you hit that subscription button? It would mean the world to me. Have an absolutely wonderful day, Reptile Army. Remember, be kind to someone, and I promise I'll see you in the next one.